All right, so we're live, 16 pods, 16 shots podcast with the great A Dub and the
Yes,
humble,
sir.
kind James Boogie. Uh, we have a special guest today. Uh, I don't know. I wanted you to say it correctly because we got something going that it's the reason why we're on top here and bottom. There's a reason for that. So I get to that later. But
Okay. Pause.
um, but
Amak Yaseekgo is the name. Amak Yaseekgo. So rapper, creative, songwriter, storyteller, all of that.
okay. Um, you see, I'm usually outnumbered when we have guests or we're talking about, foreigners to Americans. And so I try to slander a lot of like, you don't know nothing. I get a lot of spear jokes, you know what I mean? You see, I came in my war gear, right?
Okay.
In my war
Uh-huh.
He knows when I come with dashiki, he knows what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen, man.
You do
Hey, I
have
see
a
you, my
dashiki on.
brother.
And I
Hey,
normally am the bearer of spear chunking and villager jokes.
They come out today. I got
Loose.
yeah, it's 2-on-1.
I'm seeing you, my brother. You're looking good. You're looking good. Hey.
So before we
Hold on.
I gotta get my
Okay, there you go.
okay, you know what I'm saying? We always start off with the brr, pow, bang, pow, boom.
You are now listening to Houston's premier, H-Town's premier podcast, Young James Boogie, AR Dub, 16 shots.
Okay, so we have a guest in the studio, like I said before. I like to people always ask me like, well, because I'm almost the OG or whatever. So they're like, hey, we talk music, we would talk about almost. I'm
Okay.
kind of young. And so start talking about areas, like, okay, well, who's the best, spitter in this area? You know what I'm saying? I like so and so. They got a bunch of them, but for sure, XYZ. And I'm like, people always ask me, like, who is the best rapper in A Leaf? And I was like, man, you know what? It's my boy Yaseekgo, man. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best rapper in A Leaf, man. And then I get upset with the other rappers in A Leaf because there's no way, like, when you're in a room with a pit bull, you can't pretend like the pit bull ain't there. You know what I'm saying? You try to, you can pretend, but the whole time you're like, man, I can feel that energy coming from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit in the room with a pit bull that ain't 5 months. You know what I'm saying? So tell me about your experience like working with other artists in your region.
Um, man, honestly, I haven't really worked with too many artists that are around now because I like when I really started taking like rapping serious, it was like over 10 years ago, and it was going around the scene for like different places, and so it was a lot of people from different areas of Houston in general. um and so we would be at different events, different things like that, and so some would be from Northeast and some would be from Fifth Ward, some would be from different areas. And so just working with whoever was there at the same places that I was at was pretty much how it went down. But because of that, it was a lot of like cross culture and a lot of people who had similar ideas of wanting to kind of push the envelope, things like that. So the people that I worked with were really open minded, and so it was just like a really joyous experience, learning experience. It was just like real supportive, supportive and creative environment. And so that's one thing that I kept with me. A lot of those guys are they're still doing their thing, but some of them also like moved on to other things and like, let me try something else. But that kind of atmosphere of kind of that incubation is what really is that attitude of incubation and support is what I kept with me. And so if it does come to working with anybody, I'm always open-minded regardless of what type of genre, what type of content they have, all that sort of stuff. So but it was nothing but a great experience for me.
So I understand that, and that leads me to my next question, which I think we should all talk. I want to hear everybody's summation on it. But Donda came out on Sunday.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of commentary about it. That it was too long. A couple artists got upset because their music was taken off of it. Chris Brown and Soldier Boy. There were some additions, the locks. I think the locks and the baby were last minutes
Mm-hmm.
additions. But um, I think, well, I'm a Kanye fan, right?
Yeah. I seen some of your posts on there. I seen some of your posts about it so far, but yeah.
I think
He
some
was
of
he was mad we didn't play any Donda the day it dropped.
well, I think that he is so of the diaspora. Is that how you say diaspora? That
Mhm.
when speaking of him, you can't do anything but give all the emotions. Like you cannot just say he's good. You cannot just say he sucked. You cannot just say he's narcissist. You have to go through the entire myriad of emotion that you can attach to
Mhm.
our culture because that's what he is. He's the embodiment. So when he gets when the culture comments on him, there's no filter ever.
Yeah.
It's
A lot
always
of emotion behind it.
even knowing that he is the embodiment of us and we love him because even though he has some of our negative traits, he
Mhm.
situates the positive to the point like you gotta look at this, man. I understand he has this problem, but he'll give you this, he'll give you that. And it's not just the
Yeah.
music, it's the message, it's the way of thinking, right?
Yeah.
But we'll check him like he Ned Dewano. And then when he flip out, and they're like, I don't know why he's flipping out. It's like, man, look how y'all did me in front of everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Why would you do me like that? You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm listening to the songs, I'm like,
Mhm.
it's maybe a couple that are outside the box as far as whatever hip hop is supposed to be, or whatever mainstream hip hop. I get that, but this man got like he got at least 5 songs that like are the best songs of the year or candidates of. He
Right.
has the written songs as far he has the songs, you know,
Mhm.
almost R&B. He has gospel on there.
Mhm.
The hip hop on there. He's going bar for bar with the Locks, uh, Conway, uh,
Mhm.
504 and Lil Baby. Like
Mhm.
he's going head to head, and it's not
Right.
none of this with the great,
Right.
I will the best right now. But the commentary is just about like the most mundane things. Like they're like, nah, you can't have no artistry, man. And you gotta do like this one. Like, oh, he said,
Right.
But hold on, Book. You got to ask yourself, who's giving this commentary about the music? Because I was saying as I was getting my little boosty fade that we're gonna talk about later on. I was the barber was playing Donda nonstop. You know what I'm saying? So I was in there long enough to sit through one haircut, then my own,
yeah,
and so I heard damn near the whole album maybe once and a half.
yeah,
And it's some good music, bro. Like if you're a Kanye fan, you understand that Kanye is always on the cutting edge of doing something different. And at this point, I don't think you can put hip hop in a box and say it's not normally what you would hear out of hip hop.
yeah,
Because to a certain extent, I think Kanye sets the bar for hip hop. Kanye is usually one of the first to start doing something, and then the rest of hip hop kind of follows suit. It might not be exactly how Kanye did it,
yeah,
but Kanye has been like the groundbreaking hip hop person, whatever you want to call him,
yeah,
artist when it comes to a certain sound.
yeah,
So I heard him on a track with Kanye and Westside, who all they talk about is fashion and coke,
yeah.
and they talked about it a little different. Like Conway was actually speaking about,
It's
you
real.
know what I'm saying, his relationship with God and getting over being shot.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
he did sell some cocaine and talk about his Balenciagas in the song too, but it wasn't the normal Conway or West Side you normally hear. So, I mean, I think the album is good, bro. I give it like a 7 out of 10, only because some of the songs
yeah,
kind of went over my head a little bit because I like cocaine music. But
yeah.
anybody that say the album trash is trash.
I haven't heard the whole thing. Like I went through it a couple of songs and things like that, and I definitely think that there were some good songs on there. I thought there were some like good verses and things. I think what James said with when it comes to Kanye, people are really invested in him because he's meant so much to people for such a long time. From particularly from College Dropout to at least My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That kind of encapsulates a lot of people's lives. You know what I'm saying? And so, not to say he hasn't made anything great or comparable, but people see kind of his run-ins or his struggles with mental health or some of these things that seemingly paint him as a villain. And I think that people are more so rooting for him and wanting him to come back to how they remember him.
Yeah, come back.
Like people just want him to be, like me personally, I just want him to be okay. Like I want him to be okay first. You know what I mean? I want him to be okay in his mental health, be okay in his relationships or whatever it is, familiar relationships, all that sort of stuff. Because I'm the type of person where a lot of people can look at music and be like, okay, he's putting out good music, regardless of whether he's good or not, or she's good or not. Okay, the album's jamming, and then all of a sudden, like you find them dead somewhere. Yeah. So my thing is like, I want the person to be okay, and I don't mind like not having whatever product they put out, for as long as they're trying to get to being okay. So I think a lot of people may feel that way as well too, and kind of get a little frustrated with some of the extracurricular stuff that they see outside of the music. Yeah. And I think some of that probably bleeds into, their opinions about the music. But as far as me, in terms of what I've heard so far, it was different from what I'm normally expecting. I still have to get into it, but from what I heard, it's not terrible. It's not, it's pushing the envelope, and he's experimenting like he always does. Like that's his mantra, So, I mean, that's my take on it. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's just, I mean, I'm usually a little more vocal, but I was like, I'm gonna sit back on this one because I've been hearing different conversations through social media as far as like a podcast or whatever about what was going on with the album, and just trying to piece together different perspectives, and then seeing the album done 3 times basically, and seeing the changes that were made. Like, and then but I heard the first one that he used to make, like, pretty much done, the one that it was Yandi or something like that. It never came out. Like,
yeah,
Yandi's the one he turned all the songs around and made those gospel songs.
Yeah,
songs are left over on this one too. So I'm like, he went back and revisited some of his past. Like he's like, okay, man, this, you know what I mean? And I think he's gonna do a full circle and go back to what he was, but not because he's being pushed to, because that's the natural expression of what you do. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, isn't there some sort of issue now? Like it wasn't his decision to put out the current
something like
incarnation of it, something like that. Yeah.
Universal put it out without his acknowledgement or something like that. But I mean, you can hear a little bit of the discombobulation. It's not a smooth listen. Like you can't listen to it. You can listen to it all the way through, but it's not as woven like AT Aliens or like a Chronic. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's really like if Khaled was a Picasso, like a Picasso of a Khaled, because like you got all these features that are from here. You got Ariana Grande on there. You got like I said 4 and 5, whatever his name is, how we say it. You got Kid Cudi, Young Thug. You got the Locks. You got Conway. You got all these different, Lil Durk, Playboy Cardi. You got all these different sounds, all these you across the board. So, and you're dictating the songs. It ain't like you just like throwing out some throwaway beats. You know what I'm saying? You are crafting songs. So I'm like, what do people want? Because then next week they're gonna be like, oh man, that titty titty bang bang, it's the hardest thing ever. When what you were saying was what we were supposed to be hearing. Like, you know what I'm saying, to me. But so so, but yeah, I want people to listen to bars at the end of the day.
Right.
I got another question for you.
All right.
Could you tell me a Queen Latifah bar that you ever heard like was hard? They were like, you was like, oh, it's hard. Oh, Queen Latifah said that.
UNITY. You understand?
Hey, say, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
That's so hard. I agree with you.
I mean, but okay, like, and you know, we can get into the science of what makes a bar if y'all feel like doing that. But like, you know, just the proclamation of that at the time for what it was. I mean, that's a bar. You know what I'm saying? To me, at the end of the day, a bar is an effect. It has an effect on you. It's a bar. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying, like, I have become more pro rapper as I stopped making music because I was able to not be competitive about the situation because like it might be some rappers who are close to me, like either a little bit over, a little bit worse, that I'm like, I need to do something to separate me from them. You know what I mean? Even if we're not in direct competition, we are because I'm trying to, you know, whatever. So what I'm saying is like, but now I can listen to, I can be like, man, okay, so and so rap is okay. This is, you know what I'm saying, da da da. But man, Queen Latifah ain't never, man. Look, she is a legend for
Stop it.
She's not for her bars or for her concepts. She was just a part of a revolution. She was a needed part. She is the queen. She is like really is the queen. She's, you know, she carries herself in a manner. She's down for the cause. She's a legend as far as business wise with Flavor Unit and all that.
Right.
She can't rap.
I can't say that because it's like,
well,
so here's my thing. Like the one question, well, I don't even know if it's a question, but more so just the conundrum that I have is that in the hip hop community, we're very objective sounding with our opinions, but when it comes to our metrics on how we measure those things, they're really subjective and abstract. You know what I mean? Like you can have a bunch of hip hop heads in a room and you ask all of them, what is lyricism? And they will tell you every single different answer under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Or what makes a bar dope or whatever. And so for me, my thing is like, okay, she talks about she has concepts she can talk about. She can stay on topic. She can rhyme. I've heard rhyme schemes. That's it, and it made me feel something. You know what I'm saying? So she can rap. She can rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Now, are we talking about like wordplay, lyricism, and literary techniques and all this sort of stuff? If we're talking about that, then okay. You know what I mean? Like, but it just has to. I mean, I would just like to be like, what specifically are we saying when we're talking about, okay, this person can rap, this person can't, you know what I mean?
Really what I was saying more than anything else is that when we're talking about legends of the era and we're talking about, okay, she's a legend for this.
Right.
For her championing for women and equal rights.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm all for that. But she wasn't as lyrically and song making strong as some of the other women in her era. And I think she was one of the weaker as far as just making hard hitting like songs that lasted past the feeling. Like if you go, Katia was cool with the feeling, but then the brat could control anything you thinking. The brat come on, you're like, oh, hold up, man. You know, anything you thinking when Badu or you know, I'm trying to think of some of the female rappers at that time. Bahamadia. It's like it's levels to it, you know what I mean? Not saying she's bad. I'm just saying that nobody can in a bar.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, she might have one. She had a song on Jersey's Drive that was hard. But
right. But you know what I'm saying? I guess that's
my You've been on this for 3 weeks, man.
I guess this is my thing, like just, you know, again, what metrics are we saying when we're talking about rapping, you know what I'm saying? And how do people rate those metrics? You know what I mean? How much value do you place in lyricism, somebody's ability to play with words versus there's a lot of people who can play with words but can't stay on topic. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who can't stay on topic but can play with words. There's a lot of people who can just, you know, give you a lot of pretty language but not say nothing, you know, or if you ask them to explain it, it's a lot of rambling or something, you know what I mean? And so I think that, you know, there's a lot of, and you know, because Tupac gets that criticism all the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's not lyrical. He's not this. He's not that. But, you know, one, yes, he is lyrical. Two, you know, his big thing, his selling point was his emotion, being able to convey an emotion to you. And when he tells you about a story, he paints that picture, he brings that other vivid dimension by how he vocalizes to you. You know what I'm saying? Using your voice as an instrument is vital in being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And he also had bars as well too, but I don't want to like stand out over Tupac. Like everybody knows that Tupac is my number one of all time. But yeah, so I just think that it's different metrics, and I think that we just got to be clear about, okay, what metrics are we using in this particular conversation for this artist? You know what I'm saying? Like what is it? You know what I mean? So
the conversation that I always end up getting into, and I've tried to accept. I'm like, look, I have an affinity for all of the rappers, like even the Pooh Shiesties and the the Yellow Boy, whatever. I cut for them because they rap.
Spot them, got them.
Spot them, got them, yeah, whatever. That's it. But what I'm saying is, like, when people decide that, okay, I'm gonna put Spot 'em Got 'em in the conversation with Lil Wayne for the best rapper. I'm like, how? I'm like, okay, how? And then the categories, you know, they might differ, but that at the core, if we talking about rapping first, then we're talking about how they rap and what they can do with rap. But you're talking about the actual rapping part.
But I understand that. But what I'm saying is Queen Latifah versus whatever your top 5 female MCs are, that is not a true comparison saying Spot 'em Got 'em versus Wayne. It's not.
Okay. I can agree. I can agree. I just think that I mean I can agree. I can agree.
Who are some of
if you said BG versus Wayne, maybe that'll be more of a better. And I don't even think that's still.
I think BG is underrated, but I think he's overrated.
He is. But I don't think that's even a fact. Like, it's Queen Latifah, bro. Like, regardless of how you feel like her bars stand up to someone like Nicki, someone like the Brat, even someone like Salt and Pepper, you can't say she's not one of the top 10 influential females who've rapped. You can't say that. You can't. You just can't say it.
I mean, she is, but not for.
But say, okay, like let me cut in there. So like, say, I guess going back to what I was saying earlier, and also posing a question. So her on record, you know what I'm saying, just her proclamation, who you calling a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Who you calling a bitch, and UNITY, right? Those words carried, and it started a movement, you know what I'm saying? But did those words carry? Is it that because Queen Latifah said it, or is it that she said those things and she became Queen Latifah? You know what I'm saying? Did the words give her that power, or did she bring power, you know what I'm saying, to those words because of who she is? You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I think a little bit of both, because there was no Queen Latifah before Queen Latifah. So she was one of one. She was one of one. Well, there was a Nicki Minaj before Nicki Minaj. There was a version, because to me, it's not even a question that she's a version of Kim and Foxy. She's the next level. She's the next level of them. You know what I mean? But so there was a version of her before. There was a version of most of these. There wasn't no version of no Queen Latifah. So I give her that. I give her that she was one of one. Right. She started a flex, but I mean, she started the flex, man.
It might be why Rhapsody doesn't get, I think, the credit she deserves. Yeah, it's because she's Queen Latifah with better bars.
She's Queen Latifah
with better bars.
Like 3 other chicks got plus she's.
Huh?
You think so?
No, Rhapsody got bars. Like, I listen to Rhapsody's album at least once every other week, and I don't even think it's made for dudes. Like, I think that it's like, every female who really loves hip hop, if they don't listen to Rhapsody, they playing themselves. Because if you are a female who loves uplifting other females in bars, man, Rhapsody go hard, bro.
Yeah, I feel like she goes hard. Period. Honestly, I feel like I can't remember the name of that album, but the one where she named it all after all of like, you know, influential women like Nina and, you know, Eve and stuff like that.
It wasn't Layla's Wisdom. It was Damn, that was the last one I forgot.
The last one that she put out.
Yeah.
It was called Eve.
Eve, that's
I
what
think it was called Eve. Yeah, that's what it was.
She got a track on there with Queen Latifah. Book.
Right.
Bro, bars.
Queen.
Bars.
Rhapsody. I say Rhapsody, Chica,
Mhm.
Tierra Whack.
Yeah.
There's actually somebody I found out by listening to Rhapsody's album. She had a feature. Her name is LaKaylee47. She like wears this kind of bandana mask or whatever. She's just really dope. You know what I mean? And she's like real quirky and like weird, but she also has bars and her songs are catchy, everything like that. Yeah, man, it's definitely like, I mean, just in general, there's women who got bars. I mean, of course, it's never been a question. But as far as like some of the ones that I know of in recent memory that I'm like, yo, I really mess with them. Like those particular, like, you know.
With Doja Cat.
I mean, I like her songs, you know what I'm saying? Like the songs that she puts out, they're catchy, but she's not a rapper, is she?
She has bars too, man.
I think Doja Cat got bars. I just think she got put on with the gimmicky stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she still kind of leans into that. But Doja Cat actually can rap.
She has
Right.
a couple songs with some that she does what they did. Like once they get into the circle where they're just like the characters, when they get on a song with Diplo, they go all the way in, you know what I mean? But then when I get when I go with Gucci Man, like he paid me 10,000. Diplo give me $1 million up front. He finna get you know what I mean? Like
and as long as people are not selling out to who they are, then I'm totally okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I will not sit here in front like if I didn't have the opportunity, there wouldn't be a Diplo check under my name if I could get it. Like a Diplo check, a Radiohead, not Radiohead. I mean Radiohead, of course they call me, but you know, a freaking U2, all that, like everything. I'll be on there with Katy Perry, everything. It doesn't matter. As long as you know, if you can stay true to yourself. But again, that's just like the exploration of music, not being ashamed or afraid to try different avenues.
Yeah.
You know
I don't know about the Katy Perry. That'd be a hard one.
You a goddamn lie, bro. Katy Perry called Young James Boogie today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 16 for tomorrow.
If I I would do it. I would do it in my pit bull. I have to do the same way. I have to take.
Oh yeah.
the suit. You know what I mean? Have the shirt open. You know what I mean?
Oh man, he opened it up too.
Oh, we can do that, man. You can't put on a jersey and do that, man. You can't have nothing hip hop on do that, man. Because then you gotta popcorn gonna have like 4 or 5 stripes off of it, man.
Yeah, you gotta be on there.
Boogie, man. Are you gonna be flexing on us the whole pod and changing up your background every 20?
I think so, man. I you know, yeah.
I don't even know how to do that. I mean,
you definitely are in charge of posting these Zoom pods to the YouTube, man, because I still ain't posted the last Zoom pod because it was crazy. I'm trying to figure out how to get it how my editing skills are kind of whack with the audio and the video, and it's taking too long to dump, bro.
All I can say is the sun and the moon are not the same.
They're not. Audio all day, I'm good. The video is pissing me off.
As he changed the background yet again.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to change my background to. I don't even know how to do that. I'm gonna end up. I start doing it. I'm gonna end up kicking myself out the meeting.
Same. I have no idea how. No idea.
I used to have a dude that I worked with. He was in the facilities, whatever, and he would always come and tell me something that had nothing to do with anything we were talking about at the end of every conversation. So like, you're like, yeah, man, I need to get XYZ so I can get, because I be spilling stuff over here. Let me get that. Okay, yeah, cool. And he said, you know what? Nobody can run that don't have feet. And he'll walk off. I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to go up, you can't go down. And he'll walk away. I'm like, man, he's on, but he had the wrong chemical when he was mixing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That old black wisdom, them old black sayings is something else. It's something else.
Woman, that's what I'm talking about. That made it crazy because it was a white woman giving me this. Why is this white woman talking like this? pulling me all the way out. I'm like, what is going on?
White woman just come up, hey, you slide me a piece, I'll give me some grease, I'll give you a piece. What is this lady?
I'm out, Sharon.
Oh,
Not ready.
that's hilarious.
I've been to the Bucky's out there going towards Austin.
Towards
Yeah.
Austin,
I've been to every Bucky's out going leaving Houston, bro.
Man, it's like a supermarket of people.
Not every one, but I've been to that main one. I think you're talking about the same one. Like it's the same direction of like going to College Station, right?
Yeah.
That one, yeah. That's that. I mean, I don't know if that's the biggest one, but that's the biggest one that I've been to, and it's completely there. It's a oasis.
I'm like,
Is like
I had to walk around like 3 times just in awe. I was like, man, what is going on?
Yeah, that motherfucker big. I am a Bucky's connoisseur. I've even been to just the regular Bucky's gas stations, bro.
the
They
small.
They got regular Bucky's gas stations. Just regular, and I've been in them too.
That's why you mad about the new Bucky's with the Y. I had
Buck Wise. That's what I call it, Buck Wise, because it's not Bucky's.
That ain't so they got them in Texas now.
Yeah, they have them in Houston. What you talking about?
They got one in A-Leaf. It's on Highway 6 in West Park.
See, I thought the new Bucky's one allowed. Like I don't think they was allowed in Texas for the longest, and they I think, don't quote me on this. I think they got through a loophole.
Oh wow!
You know, you couldn't.
What you say, bud?
That's that fan love. You know, see, back in the day, you couldn't even sell Pepsi on this block. It was
only Coke on my block, no Pepsi, nigga.
Oh.
A loophole in, you know, the Texas legislator that you can sell Coca-Cola because it's cola.
None of our listeners want to hear about Bucky's.
I don't know. See,
but what are these Atlanta revelations you trying to talk about?
Yeah, well, see, I think it slides right into your boosty fade. Like, you know,
we can talk about it.
You left the Houston guy, and now I want to ask you to wipe me down. I don't know, it's pause.
See, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? So full disclosure, I didn't have time to go get a haircut before I left Houston. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a plane. Well, I know I'm getting on the plane yesterday. Didn't have time to go to the barber. So, you know, I said, hey, man, Killer Mike is always talking about the swag shop. You know, Killer Mike owned a barbershop called the Swag Shop. Cool. I'm a book an appointment.
Yeah.
I don't know none of the barbers, so I just hit, you know,
first
available.
It's a setup chair, man.
And so then, you know, I know this homie like cutting hair bright and early, 9:15. I ain't tripping. I go in there, you know, and the guy he was cutting in front of me had dreads, and so he did his little shape up or whatever. So I'm like, it ought to be all right. And then I told him what I wanted. I said, man, let me get a low fade, even out everything else. And he was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, you know. So he started cutting my hair. And then, you know, we listening to the Donda this morning. You know, I'm in ATL Swag Shop. You know what I'm saying? It's Run the Jewels, paraphernalia everywhere. And then, you know, I'm like right down there in the black area. So, you know, I'm in Atlanta, bro. I'm getting all the flavor of Atlanta.
You have no reason to believe this is not going to be a great experience.
It has to be a great experience, man. I follow Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? He's always talking about how the swag shop is an experience.
Yeah.
And so, you know how sometimes you get your hair cut and you see a little bit too much hair fall on the little situation on the floor. Yeah, but I didn't want to freak out. I'm like, you know, he know what he's doing. So then we get talking, man. And that boy was like, yeah, you know. I said, I said, no, this is what I said. I said, man, what part of Atlanta I'm in right now? He was like, man, you know, I don't know, man. Sometimes you think you're in North Atlanta, you really in South Atlanta. I'm like, hold on, well, how long you been in Atlanta?
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I've been there 4 years. Man, I'm from Gary, Indiana. Now, once he said that, I knew my haircut was gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, was he cutting your head and was he whispering? I mean, was he singing, "Wipe me down, wipe me down"?
He should have been, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, my haircut ain't fucked up, but yeah, you know, it's like it's real Boosie fade-ish.
No, your haircut.
And it ain't my thing, bro.
I'm gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought she was somebody else, man. Like he gave you a hairpiece, man. Like
I can see that.
George, your illustrious edge up, man. He
fucked my edge up, bro.
He made you like you got a hairpiece on, like Your name is Carlos for the next 3 weeks. Like he
3
was,
weeks.
like he was trying to cut you
My-
that time, man.
Man.
I
And you
feel
know
like
what I'm saying?
I feel like he I feel like he faded you well though. I feel like he faded the fading. I feel like he did his job.
He faded you. But he
That's
faded
what I'm saying. It's not. See, Bug is gonna make this worse than what it really is.
Right.
It's not. It's a bad haircut for what I normally get. It ain't an H-Town haircut. It's a bad haircut. I will never let this man touch my head again in life.
Right.
I'm moving to Atlanta, so I gotta find a barber, but not him.
Gary Indianian. I
Yeah, not
thought
him.
to myself, man, I'm going Gary, give me a haircut, man. That's why he got the good hair. We're gonna have all the fans in Gary hate us for that, man. But I don't know. I want like some hamburgers or something. I would think Gary Indiana would have some good homegrown, you know, hamburgers from the meats. I mean the beef that's out there. But I know people that cut hair very well. Is it?
It just I should have known better, bro. That he was in the shop at 9 a.m, bro,
Mhm.
and they don't open till 10.
No self.
So you
comes on.
usually that be your barber. You know, your barber with clientele who cut hair good.
Yeah.
He just show up when he want to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working from 2 to 4 today. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
Barbers are kind of pretentious, aren't they?
trial and error, bro. Trial and error. And so then the only reason even I got my hair because I have to go into the office tomorrow. So I just couldn't go in there looking woolly. I probably should have, but
Weekend, man. Keep going. Sorry.
that's all the story, bro. I want the 2-piece, that nigga, but I paid the man. So and this other piece too, man. I was like, I can't just not pay the man and walk out. That's some whole ass shit.
Yeah.
So I paid the man for his services.
Did he say come back?
Huh?
Did he say come back now?
He didn't say it like that, but he did.
Man, I got you. My bad, man.
He did. Nah, he didn't say that, bro. He was like, because we talking, because I could you help before? I'm like, nah, he ain't never cut me before. And I give him the whole spill. I'm moving to ATL for my job and all that stuff. So at the end of the cut, he was like, yeah, man, just make sure you come back to me. I said no.
I remember I got my haircut I could tell that he was probably 18, 19. I was 19 at the time. He was the same age. And I could tell that he had just got